Good morning. My name is Jahi. I'm the presider for this morning. Am I up too soon? I'm good? Oh, okay. It's been a beautiful, the last couple of days have been real beautiful. And I tried to get out yesterday and play golf. And I haven't played in about 3 months. And I'm sore as I don't know what today. But as I was looking at the reading this morning, and it says that since we are in one with our Creator, right, that we are healthy and whole in every aspect of our being. And so I'm taking that. I'm a claim that I'm healthy and whole, even though I'm feeling sore as I don't know what. I'd like to welcome everybody on Facebook, those that are here in the building, and those that are also watching. And let's stand and say our intention statement, and afterwards greet each other in the way that you feel comfortable. We are a diverse and inclusive spiritual community expressing God as love.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. Good morning, CSL.
Good morning.
How's everyone feeling?
Yeah, good.
I like that. This is Julia.
Good morning.
That's Mark. That's Joel. That's Doug. I would like to invite our special guest out today. Her name is Kelly. You can come on out, Kelly. Welcome back. My name is Lee. Let's sing, everyone. Please stand if you feel comfortable. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. All that I know is you caught me at the right time. Keep me in your glow, 'cause I'm having such a good time with you. Don't you know you're my golden hour, the color of my sky. You set my world on fire. And I know everything's gonna be alright. I used to be sad, lonely when the sun went down, but it's different now, 'cause I love the light that I found in you. Don't you know you're my golden hour, the color of my sky. You set my world on fire. And I know everything's gonna be alright. You make the world look beautiful. Thought I'd seen it all before, but looking through your eyes looks like paradise. Ooh, you set my world on fire. And I know everything's gonna be alright. You're my golden hour, the color of my sky. You set my world on fire. And I know everything's gonna be alright. I know everything's gonna be alright. Oh.
Okay, I'm up. Good morning, CSL.
Good morning.
What a great day, great day. My name is Kathy, and I'm one of your practitioners. Been around for a little bit, almost a year now. And today I get to talk about one of my 3 favorite topics. The first favorite topic is God. Second one is love. And the third one is service. For me, service is a blessing. It's what I give to others unconditionally. If I'm doing service work, I'm not looking at motives. What am I going to get out of it? It's just a gift. And in that gift, I can see joy, peace, frustrations disappear, whatever that is. And we can be of service anytime, anywhere. It doesn't have to be necessarily here. It can just be out on the street, helping a mom with her kid or whatever that is. That's service. And it's so important because for me, the God of my understanding serves us, does everything through us as us. And, so I'm just kind of like running around like God doing what God does. That's kind of how I look at it. So having said that, let's take a moment and connect. There's one source, one essence, and I choose to call this source and essence God. God is light, love, beauty, peace, joy, abundance, prosperity, health, wisdom, intelligence. And I am an individualization of this spirit. Therefore, all God is, I am. God lives and has its being through me as me. And I can choose how I show up on a daily basis or a minute-by-minute basis. And I realize this truth for each of us in this building. We are all individualized spirits of God. God shows up through us, as us. And with gratitude, I want to say a word of blessing for our dream team music machine over here. They always bring us together and get us up on our feet and give us joy. They always manage to figure out what we need to hear in songs. And I say another word of blessing for Reverend Mike and his message today, which I know will feed our souls, give us something to chew on, something to take with us as we go out through this week. And just knowing this service is already perfect as it is. I release all of this into the law, knowing it is done. And together we say, and so it is.
Love in the words I say, peace in the world I make, God in every breath I take, joy in my day, joy in my day. Love in the words I say, peace in the world I make, God in every breath I take, joy in my day, joy in my. We are lifted up, we are lifted up, we are lifted up higher. We are lifted up, we are lifted up, we are lifted up higher. Love in the words we say. Peace in the world we make. God in every breath we take. Joy in our day. Joy in our day. Love in the words we say. Peace in the world we make. God in every breath we take. Joy in our day. Joy in our day. God in every breath we take. Joy in our day. Joy in our. We are lifted up. We are lifted up. We are lifted up higher. We are lifted up. We are lifted up. We are lifted up higher. We are lifted up. We are lifted up. We are lifted up higher. We are lifted up. We are lifted up. We are lifted up higher.
Did it again.
I've decided to be happy. I've decided to be glad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I've decided to let go of all this pain tonight. I've decided to let go of all this darkness inside. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know I don't need more. I got what I came for. I've decided to be open to that little voice inside, telling me I'm beautiful. It's okay to be alive. I've decided to be kinder to myself when I feel sad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know
Good morning. Just when you think there are no surprises left, they do something like that. So thank you so much. That was wonderful. So thank you so much for being here. I got to get my stuff turned on here. It's wonderful to see you in the room, especially during the summer when a lot of people are traveling. So I know some people who are gone, but it's wonderful to see all of you. Thank you for joining us on Facebook and also on YouTube. However you're connecting with us, we love knowing that you're there and being part of us here in this room. So we have a tradition of welcoming people who are here for the first time, wanting you to know that you are welcome just the way you are. And also, it's, for anybody watching for the first time, actually it's for anybody. Everybody wants to feel welcome just the way they are, wherever they are. So let's say this together. As Center for Spiritual Living, you are welcome because of your age, race, religion, gender identification, who you love, who you vote for, and your education. Thank you for practicing diversity and inclusion every week the way our opening statement says. I always like to remember us once in a while, this does not mean we agree 100% on everything. We don't see eye to eye on everything. So it's really a practice of honoring our what looks to be differences in ways that we may not see things alike, but we still practice diversity and inclusion and respect one another for who we are. So I want to start with a story, and it's a story that you may be familiar with. It's about an old farmer whose horse had run away, and his neighbors were maybe neighbors that you're used to. They have an opinion about a lot of things, have judgments about a lot of things, so his was no different. So when the horse ran away, his neighbors said, "What terrible luck you have." And the farmer replied, "We'll see." The next day, the horses came back, and when they came back, they brought 6 horses with them. And the neighbors said, "Wow, what wonderful luck you have." Now all of a sudden he's lucky. And the farmer replied, "Oh, we'll see." And so the farmer's son, a few days later, was trying to ride one of those horses, fell off and broke his leg. And the neighbor said, "What terrible luck you have." And the farmer replied, "We'll see." Soon after that, the army came recruiting young men for war. And because he had broken his leg, he was spared, having to leave. And the neighbor said, "What wonderful luck you have." And the farmer replied, "We'll see." So the story really is a reminder for all of us that life unfolds in ways that we had not planned. The farmer in the story had not planned for any of that. He had not planned for his horse to run away. He had not planned for them to return with 6 wild horses. He had not planned for his son to break his leg riding one of the horses, and he had not planned for the army to come recruiting his son. And he had not planned for them to spare his son because of a broken leg. His response to all of the unplanned events and his neighbor's judgments about whether he had good luck or bad luck was simply, "We'll see." So that may not sound to us like a very spiritual response. I think it reflects faith, because he's saying, I had not planned for any of this to happen. Life is beyond my control. And I'm trusting life, in this case, life with a capital L. I'm trusting life to show me what I need in the middle of all of this. So I'm going to ask us to do a little audience participation. Nothing weird, nothing uncomfortable, nothing that's going to make you go, ooh. So I just got one thing to ask you to do. To raise your hand only if life has always gone according to your plans. I'm waiting. Waiting for a hand to go up. Don't see one. Maybe the better question is, what do we do when life does not go according to our plans? What do we do when the relationship ends? When the diagnosis comes? What do we do when our children make choices we wish they wouldn't? Oy. That's what I did. Oy. What do we do when the future we had imagined seems to have just evaporated? So those examples are all events that we had no control over. You had no control over. They happened, and we can't change the fact that they happened, and we can't change the past. It kind of reminds me, or maybe it reminds you too, of the prayer of St. Francis, the line that says, "Give me grace to accept the things I cannot change." So I think we spend enormous amounts of energy trying to make life comfortable, don't we? I mean, I want to be comfortable. We try to avoid uncertainty. We try to avoid pain and perceived failures and disappointments. But what if those things are not really our enemy? What if uncertainty and pain and failure and disappointment, what if they're not really the enemies we make them out to be? What if the very experiences we spend our lives trying to avoid are actually the doorway to becoming more spiritually awake? I think when we can become spiritually woke. Okay, that was funnier in my head. Be spiritually woke. That is the heart of the remarkable life and teachings of the Buddhist nun, Pema Chodron. So doing a little wisdom walk with Pema Chodron this morning. Pema Chodron was not born a Buddhist nun. She was born Deidre Blomfield Brown in New York City in 1936. She had what appeared to be a fairly ordinary life. She got married, she had children, she became an elementary school teacher. She expected, like most of us do, that life would unfold the way we had expected it to. But it did not. Her marriage ended, and she experienced a deep, deep heartbreak. She said divorce completely shattered her identity, and she felt lost. Now, many of us know that feeling, maybe not necessarily divorce, but we know that experience of thinking, these things happened. This thing happened in my life. It shattered me or shook me, and I don't know who I am anymore. Because sometimes life removes the labels we depended on to identify ourselves, like the job or the relationship or a certain financial status or the roles that we play, or maybe even the certainty that we depended on. All of those things sometimes just get removed from our life, and suddenly we're left asking, now what? So the lessons Pema Chodron learned during this painful period became one of her most well-known or most popular books entitled When Life Falls Apart. So she says, instead of trying to avoid or to run away from those things that we cannot change, she suggests the idea of radical acceptance. Radically accepting them as a way to become more spiritually awake or spiritually woke, if you will. So I want to talk about this idea this morning. When things fall apart, we don't have to. So I'm hoping you'll come along with me on this exploration because, I get it. This isn't like the flowery, spiritual, good news kind of stuff. It's just like, oh, praise God, life is wonderful. This is real life. And I think it's helpful to acknowledge that real life happens to all of us, including me, and that we need strategies and ideas about how to navigate those things. And it reminded me, since Jen is back in the booth again this morning, that when she spoke last week, talking about all the things in the world that are going on. Sometimes our lives feel like they're on fire. Find those things that you love. Find those things that connect us and keep dancing anyway. So this is kind of along that same line. So thanks for the catapult, Jen, into this. So I think it's good to begin with the difference between resistance and acceptance, and why acceptance is better for us in a number of ways. So acceptance is better than resistance because it stops the exhausting cycle of fighting reality. We stop that exhausting fight, fighting the way things really are. Resistance, you've probably noticed, fighting against it, drains your energy because we're fighting things that are just not changeable. And it keeps us stuck in emotional turmoil. Acceptance has a way of clearing out some mental space. It allows us to process some emotions, regain our focus, and take some effective action. So I highlighted these next 2 or 3 statements in my notes in bold and in red so I could say, okay, this is really important to know. Acceptance does not mean you approve of a bad situation or that you're giving up. It simply means that you are acknowledging what is true in the present moment so you can make more informed decisions moving forward. Let's say that again. Acceptance does not mean you're approving of a bad situation, and it does not mean that you're giving up. It simply means I'm acknowledging what's true right here and right now in this moment. And then that helps me make more informed decisions moving forward. So I love this one. Acceptance calms the nervous system. And I think this is interesting to know because fighting difficult thoughts, fighting feelings, fighting the things that we fight against actually signals to our body that it is under attack, and it keeps stress hormones high, which obviously is not good for our physical health. By accepting the reality of what really is, you tell your body that it's actually safe to settle, which helps your mind think more clearly. So acceptance helps expand the choices that we feel like we have. When we're fighting against what is, all we see is, I can't change what is, and we can't move forward. Mental health experts note that you cannot fix a problem while you are still busy wishing the problem didn't exist. Mental health experts note, I'm going to say it again, you cannot fix a problem while you are still busy wishing the problem did not exist. The Tao, the Eastern tradition of the Tao, has many great images that help us understand things, I think. But one of the suggestions the Tao makes is that we become like water. So they say instead of trying to be a rock that firmly plants itself, flowing, trying to break the flow of the river, that we become so fluid like water that we can flow around obstacles rather than trying to push up against them. We flow around them. So it sounds easy, right? Just so easy. Of course, acceptance is the way to go. It's easy. Why would we resist reality? Why would we fight against it and try to change the unchangeable? Why would we do that? So I want to take a look under the hood, if you will, of why acceptance feels so challenging in the middle of a crisis or in the middle of our in the middle of our unchangeable circumstances. Why does our mind fight so hard? So the moment a difficult, unchangeable challenge drops into our laps, the ego or a mind does not just look at that problem in a box. It begins to magnify it and blow it up. It builds a terrifying, lifelong narrative around the whole thing. And stepping back from it a little bit, it can look or sound a little comical. If you get a chronic diagnosis, the ego or our mind doesn't just say, oh, my body hurts today. It says, you're going to be in pain forever. You'll lose your independence, you'll become a burden, and your life is effectively over. If a relationship ends, Our mind doesn't just say, it feels kind of empty right now. It says, you are fundamentally unlovable. I mean, it goes to work on us. You're unlovable, you're going to die alone, you'll never experience joy or love again. So in other words, our ego or our mind is just a big old drama queen, blows everything out of proportion. So no wonder we resist. Who wants to go through that? But we aren't just resisting the reality of the present moment. We're resisting the exhausting weight of a catastrophic future that our minds have just invented on the spot. We're trying to carry future years of projected misery all at one time that hasn't even happened yet. And that is a weight that no human soul was built to bear. So I've heard resistance defined as arguing with the universe. Big argument, huh? So we resist because we mistake resistance for having some control. And we love to be in control. So the ego or in our mind believe that if we just complain enough, if we complain loud enough and wish intensely enough, that reality will somehow bend its will to us. So we play this game of a cosmic tug of war. So I'm going to ask you to use your imagination for a minute here. Imagine that you're standing at the edge of a cliff, playing tug of war with a massive, heavy monster. Let that monster represent your unchangeable challenge, whether it's a disappointment, a loss, the past, something that is unchangeable that you're fighting, and that's your monster that you're playing tug of war with. You are pulling with everything you have. Your hands are bleeding from pulling on the rope so hard, your muscles are screaming, and you are utterly exhausted. You may know the feeling. I do. I've done it. Resistance is the voice in your head telling you, just pull harder. If you pull harder, you can drag this monster across the line, and then you can change your history. But you can't because the monster isn't moving. Acceptance is not about defeating a monster. Acceptance is simply realizing you have the option to drop the rope and stop fighting. Because when we drop the rope, the monster doesn't magically disappear. The diagnosis is still there. The person is still gone. The financial crisis could still be there, and the money may still be lost. But look at what has changed. You are no longer so exhausted because you put down the rope and stopped pulling and fighting. Your hands have stopped bleeding. You get some energy back. The uncomfortable reality, I think, that we realize is pain is part of the human contract. If you love, you will experience the pain of grief. We know that, don't we? If you have a physical body, and you do, there's a lot of physical bodies here, in that case, you will experience aging. And perhaps aging comes with certain things. But it's just a reality. It's just a part of life. It's not punishment. But much of our suffering is actually kind of a choice. Suffering is the extra layer of tension and frustration and resentment that we loop over and over and over again in our minds. And it's that looping that really causes our suffering. It's that endless cycle of this should not be happening to me. Why me? How could they? When we resist and fight the reality of what is, it's like we're standing in a downpour. Just imagine, standing in a downpour, screaming at the clouds to stop raining. And the clouds just don't care. You just get wetter. You just get colder and probably a little more angry. So we want to reclaim our power, don't we? Don't we? We want to reclaim our power. Don't want to be a victim to all of that and just say, oh, I guess it's just what happens. So we want to reclaim our power. So the GPS system that we depend on to get us around is really a great analogy of how we regain power. So what does acceptance really look like? Because I think many of us fear that if we accept a bad situation, as I said, we think we're saying it's okay. We think acceptance means waving a white flag and giving up. But it actually means the opposite to accept. Acceptance is our ultimate power move. So think about the GPS in your car. And I'm going to ask you to imagine another thing this morning. Imagine that you're driving down the highway. Everything is going smoothly as planned on your trip. And suddenly there is a massive road closure due to some construction going on or an accident of some kind up ahead. And you're just, the highway's become a parking lot. I love that. But it was unplanned, it was unexpected, and it was out of your control. So you're forced off your route. What does your GPS do? Does it start, yeah, what? Thank you. You come up here. You're about 3 pages ahead of me. So does your GPS start yelling and blaming you? Hopefully not. It has. Yeah, I changed my GPS voice to something a little more pleasant. But your GPS, does it say, why did they build this road so poorly? Does it blame the road? You know, does it say, why didn't you leave 30 minutes earlier so we could avoid this? Does it say, this is so unfair? Or does it say, why are those drivers up there who caused this wreck? Why are they so careless? Where did they learn to drive? No, the GPS doesn't waste a single watt of energy arguing with a construction zone. I have. And it was not effective. But it doesn't spend time arguing. It doesn't judge the traffic, or it doesn't judge the other drivers that may have caused the block. It simply accepts the new coordinates. It recalculates and says, starting from here. That phrase, starting from here, is acceptance. It acknowledged and accepted that things have changed, and this is now your true starting line. When we accept an unchangeable challenge, we stop looking backward at the road that just closed. We look at the map in front of us and ask, given that this is my new reality, what is the next wisest step? This is my new reality. What is my next wisest step? So action taken from a place of resistance is usually, you have probably noticed as well as I have, resistance is usually frantic, reactive, and messy. It's driven by panic or fear. But action taken from a place of acceptance is more clear, it's more grounded, and it is incredibly powerful for us to do that. Because you are finally working with the fabric of reality instead of trying to rip it up. And because we are so beautifully human, whoops, I'm ahead of myself. Because we are so beautifully human, acceptance is not a destination where you will never feel angry or sad again. It's simply the decision to stop wishing for a better past so you can actually show up for your present. Let's say that together and make it about you. Where there says you, make I. So let's say this. Acceptance isn't a destination where I never feel angry or sad. It's simply the decision to stop wishing for a better past so I can actually show up for my present. I like that. I get to be human. We actually get to be a human in the middle of our spiritual journey. So someone once asked, when do the waves stop? The surfing instructor laughed and he said, they don't. You just learn to surf. Life is not going to become free of the waves. Peace comes from learning how to ride the waves. So like I said, what I'm talking about this morning is true for all of us, including myself. So years ago, I faced, some people call it a season, I call it a period of time, but I faced a period of time where nothing seemed to be working. Plans unraveled, doors were closing. I spent months asking, why is this happening? And eventually, and I will say eventually the question changed to it changed from why is this happening to me to what is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me? The interesting thing is nothing on the outside had changed. The change was all in here. Because sometimes transformation begins not when circumstances improve. Transformation begins when our relationship to those circumstances change. And we do have relationships with our circumstances. You talk to them, don't you? You talk to your circumstances. You think about them. You have a relationship. We have a relationship with our circumstances. Sometimes transformation changes when our relationship to them changes. And perhaps, and I would be willing to bet, you've had that experience just like I have. So instead of leaving you with a bunch of ideas, I want to leave you with a practice. Did something just change? Yeah, something uncontrollable just happened. So instead of leaving with ideas, let's leave with a practice. So when something unsettling happens this week, and you know it's gonna, there's three things we can do. We can take a pause. I don't know who said that to me once. Mike, just take a pause. Take one conscious breath. Maybe you need more than one. I've needed more than one many times. Take as many conscious breaths as you need before you respond. Take that breath. Second thing you can do is become curious. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what is life inviting me to learn? What's here for me that I don't know, that I don't understand yet, that I can learn from this? Curiosity sometimes softens our resistance. Sometimes it softens this internal fighting that we're experiencing. And last of all, practice compassion, and I mean self-compassion. When you notice yourself struggling, replace self-criticism with self-kindness. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend. Sometimes we say things to ourselves we wouldn't dream of saying to someone we love. Treat yourself with the same kindness that you treat the people you love. So pause for the breath, be curious, what's in this that I can learn, and practice self-compassion. Trust that there is something within you that is larger than whatever you're facing. Life may fall apart. Perhaps we don't have to. So I hope these have been helpful ideas about dealing with the real life, unplanned and unchangeable events that happen in our lives. Thank you so much for listening and laughing along with me. Have a wonderful week. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So as you know, we believe in prayer here at CSL. So if you have a prayer request that you came in with or something that's come up in the middle of the service that you want some support, there are a number of things that you can do, and that we love doing this for you and with you. You can meet a prayer partner before or after the service every Sunday, just right along here. They're happy to greet you and hear your request and say a prayer with you. If you would rather do it a little different, you can fill out a prayer request card. There's a podium right there under the TV screen. You can fill out that card, put it in the basket. You can put it in the offering basket. There's a prayer box in the lobby under the TV screen. You can go to cslkc.org and click on prayer, and a box comes down for you to fill out and send it in. In all of those circumstances, they are 100% confidential. Only your prayer partner knows about what your request is. And then you can also, if you'd like a recorded prayer that changes every day, you can call 816-931-2396 and hear that prayer. I know a number of people have told me over the years, I start my day with my spiritual practice, and that's part of it, calling and hearing that recorded prayer. So like I said, it's our pleasure and our honor to support you in prayer. We believe prayer changes things, changes us. So it's time for our time in our service where we kind of shift gears to be more internal. We stop all the words, or many of the words, and all the information that we've tried to take in, and just sit and reflect and be still with what we've experienced this morning. It's when we start to internalize it and let it drop down into us in quiet places that the changes really start to happen. So we have this practice that I started like 2 months ago when we started our wisdom walk. And it was from Ram Dass, Be Here Now. And it's just closing our eyes and being 100% present here. We are obviously sitting in a chair, physically present. That does not mean our mind is in the same place. My mind can be way out there in the future or in the past, like any of us. So let's bring it all together, our body and our mind, right here for the next few moments. The beautiful music helps us get ready to draw us in, and then we'll have some quiet time.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Just close your eyes and breathe, and know that you are safe.
Since we're dealing with a water image of letting go of the shore, just going to remind us maybe today what our focus can be on is becoming like water, like the Tao said. You don't have to do it this way. If you have another way to connect right now, that's fine. But I think a lot of times we become so rigid about what's happening. It's like we've planted ourselves as a rock in the middle of the river, and we're going to block the flow of what's happening no matter what. And it's exhausting. So the suggestion, as I mentioned earlier in the Tao, is to become like the water that flows around things. So I'm just going to ask us if that's comfortable for you to become like water in your mind for the next few moments as we sit in the quiet and just flow. You have to breathe through the uncontrollable. Just breathe through it. Can't do anything about it.
No need to make a plan. Your heart will be your compass. Just lift yourselves in faith and know that you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery.
This is the part of the service in which we have an opportunity to give back. Appreciate you being here. Your being here is a gift to us. But I ask you now to take your treasure into your hand, into your heart, and give freely. There's all kinds of ways in which we can give. We can give through the kiosk in the back. Some of the chairs have a envelope in the back of the chair in which you can also give your donation. The ushers will be coming around with the baskets so you can give your donation. No matter what you do, how you give, make sure it comes from your heart. Let's say our offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
Surrounded by a presence,
Surrounded by a friend, the source of all creation allows my heart to sing. The source of all creation allows my heart to sing again. Alle, alleluia, alle, alleluia, alle, alleluia, alle, alleluia, alle, alleluia, alle, alleluia.
one life.
one love, one world, one joy. That's what it is. Alle, alleluia. Alle, alleluia. Alle, alleluia. Alle, alleluia. Alle, alleluia. Alle, alleluia.
So if this was your first Sunday here in the room or first time to watch us, we want to thank you for sharing part of your Sunday morning with us. We appreciate it very much. If you want to know more about who we are, there's several things you can do. There's several tables over there under the window that have lots of information about us that you're free to pick up and check out more about who we are. You can also go to our website, cslkc.org. There's lots of information there as well. So before we get to the announcements, I just want to thank the music team for some great music this morning. Thank you. Kelly, it was great to have you here, especially. Thank you for coming again. Good to see you. So a couple of things, and they're all in your handout. We have that available every Sunday, so you know what's going on if you want to know what's happening in the next week or two. So you can just refer to that along with me if you'd like. After the service today is what? What? I don't know what the pointing is. So after the service, the Earth Allies are going to meet right back here in the corner at 11:30, or as quickly as 11:30 as you can. New members are always welcome. Also this week, the Allies for Racial Equity Workshop is happening. The time and the date and the top discussion topic is there in the handout. Summer camp is also coming up for the youth. There's information there in your handout. You can also contact Jessica Royer about how to register. One of the things that is always wonderful to see people do is I can't volunteer, but I will donate. I will sponsor a child. So that's also available too. If you can't volunteer your time, it's wonderful to sponsor a child, and Jessica can help you with what that need as well. And the last thing is, saving the best to last, Lorna. Lorna has an announcement about some information that's in the handout if you'd like to listen to her. And there's something very interesting that she's leading for us, or for you. I'm going to stand in the plant.
You're the bluebird of happiness. Yes, so a couple of classes ago, a group of the students decided, because they learned that the Science of Mind Archives has moved from Golden, Colorado to Lee Summit at Unity Village. So we went out and toured, and apparently they talked a lot about it because other people have now approached us. So the practitioners have worked with the Unity, with Science of Mind Archives, to do a tour on Monday the 20th. And I have at the back a sign-up table. I have a little bit of information about it. And then I also have maps and directions and instructions for attending. It's about, if we lollygag, it's probably 3 hours. If we get through it, it's probably 3 hours because we'll stop and have lunch at the little shop out there. Yeah, we'll still lollygag. But anyway, that's what's going on. And so you're encouraged to come back to the table and register for that. We'll register this Sunday and next Sunday, and then we're going. Thank you.
I forgot to mention also in your handout, there's information about Fringe Fest. We have been one of their venues for a number of years, and they've asked to come back and be here at CSL again. They bring some of their bigger shows here because we have a bigger space. In case you don't remember, if you come to a show that is here, a portion of the ticket sales from here go to CSL. So come here for the shows. So let's stand and sing for our youth to come in.
We welcome you, Caribou. We welcome you, Amen. We welcome you, Caribou. We welcome you, Amen. from the heart, from the soul, from the spirit. Welcome to your family. Welcome into love. Welcome to your safe space. Welcome to your family.
Good morning. Fringe moves our piano down from the stage every summer, and they're asking if there's anybody who could help them 4:30 tomorrow. If we have lots of people, it's not that heavy. It's really not that heavy. Anyway, if you're available tomorrow at 4:30 and like to move pianos, they would welcome our help. So thank you.
Okay, let's stand to say our closing affirmation. This is how we believe our Creator sees each and every one of us. Who are you? I am a perfect expression of God, worthy of a life of love and joy right now.